For Moldova, this is a very important industry because, first and foremost, since we don't have fossil resources, we must invest into actually what we have in the country, and that is we have a gigantic potential in terms of wind and PVs. Development on PV specifically, because up till recently, and we were fully 100% dependent on Russian gas, which would also be the main source for the electricity supplies. We see this also as a clean energy, but also an independent energy we can develop within the country, create new jobs as well. And I would really welcome to have the investors coming to Moldova to invest into the country, develop new renewables project, PVs as well, but also why not even developing these PVs within the country. In addition, we already saw a skyrocketing trend of installing PVs both for consumers, but also now we are scaling up with auctions because that's the economy of scale. And ultimately they can deliver an affordable price for the Moldovans as well. So the future is clearly renewables, because we envisage already 30% of renewables in Moldova around 2030, and even post 2030 we envisage to be an exporter, that needs to come with the development of the grids. So there's a lot to come, but first and foremost we need to have the investment streamlining into the country so we can secure this development. Yeah, so key trends is that first, we already see that renewables, and especially like PVs, is even more affordable, and the biggest investments are being done in the PVs, for instance, rather than oil. That's one trend. Second, already across the EU, we saw that renewables have the biggest share in the electricity mix. And now in terms of challenges, for Moldova, this is very important. We tackle the flexibility element as well, meaning that obviously given the variability of PVs, of renewables, and with the peak of the days as well, we must identify alternative solutions such as storage, such as thermal storage solutions too. We are now considering including thermal storage, but also wider scale battery solutions. So there is such a discussion for a support from the USAID. So we hope that there will be a bigger project of batteries that can then balance the grids and provide a solution for the peaks on the electricity grid. Another challenge, as I said, it's the war, of course, in Ukraine, because for some investors probably the appetite lowers down precisely because the war is there, and they create a certain uncertainty in terms of how things will then pursue. But I can assure you well that we are quite ambitious into our green agenda. It's for that reason that we are putting ahead this framework on innovation sandboxes, but also we want to launch the first energy community framework or pilot for Moldovans who can actually, instead of having each of them a PV on their houses, they can jointly gather and have this community. And eventually we would consider a storage, biomass as well, to have this boiler of biomass, and biogas for the farmers as well. So there are a bunch of ideas we are working on, and we hope that that we manage to secure the funding for these ideas as well. CISOLAR, it's a fantastic opportunity to gather, as I mentioned, decision makers, investors, the whole supply chain from battery PVs as well. So I've discussed already with quite a few business developers here, but also even PV developers in general, the producers. This is great for us, on one hand, to manage to have that discussion to provide a clarity about the normative framework that we have in Moldova and what's next on our agenda, so that they can understand that the political framework, but also legislative framework, is there to stay, and they can be safe, they can feel safe to invest in Moldova.